Hey guys, Mr. Bowman here. Today's learning objective is we are learning to calculate the probability of given events, and we're focusing on left or right slope questions. And I am on this video just emphasizing the left slope formula. So the left slope formula noted in the introduction video is not correct, but the left slope formula here is correct. So please use this. I do want to note this is in our workbooks and this will be given to us in a formula sheet in the exam. So let's go through a question first. So we're going to start off with do one of each, one left slope, one right slope. We're going to start off with an example. So here is our triangular distribution. We were told that buses have a minimum wait time of 22 minutes and a maximum of 27 minutes, with the most likely time actually resulting in a 25-minute wait. We've been asked what was the probability of waiting longer than 26 minutes. So that means we are interested in that area that's 26 or above. So the first thing to note, where the height is, and our height is on the right slope of our equation or of our graph, and that means we do have to focus on the right slope formula, which I've circled below. So the probability that x is above 26 is always going to be 1/2 times base times height. And in our case, that is 1/2 times the base being 27 minus 26. And that is going to be multiplied by 2b minus x divided by b minus a, b minus c. And that mirrors our formula there. Let's just quickly double check. So we've got 2b minus x, perfect, times b minus a, perfect, times b minus c. So that's the most common mistake I make in my work, is just picking up the wrong formula or getting a b or an a the wrong way around. So please double check your work, unlike what I did in that earlier video. So make sure we're looking and we're focusing on that. So that is going to be 1/2 times, this here comes to 1, so I'm actually just going to ignore it because anything times 1 stays the same. And we're going to go 2 in our case. So let's recap. So A is always the minimum, B is always the maximum, C is the peak, and X is the variable related to the shaded portion. So 2 times 27 minus 26 divided by B minus A, so that's 27 minus 22, and then B minus C, 27 minus 25. And we then do the maths from here. That is going to be 1/2 times 2, because 27 minus 26 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, divided by 5 times 2. And then we do that multiplication. That is going to become 2 divided by 5 times 2 is 10, times 2 again is 20. That there is 1/10, and that means the probability of the bus wait time being above 26 is going to be 0.1. And if you're asked to put that in a percentage form, make sure you do convert that to make sure you're getting all the marks. That's 10% as well. So I'm quickly going to pause the video. If you need to get this down, please do. I'm then going to clear the working, and we're going to move on to a left slope question with a bit of a twist though. Okay, I've drawn the triangle for our next one. It does resemble what we did in the earlier question, and this time around we've been asked what is the probability of the bus wait time being above 23. So that's that shaded area there. To do this question, we're not actually going to calculate this big shaded area. What we're going to do is we're going to calculate the smaller triangle down here. So we're going to calculate that smaller triangle, and then we're going to go 1 minus that probability to find the larger shape within there. So let's get into this question. So in our case, the probability that x is below 23, that is going to be equal to 1/2 times base times height. 1/2 the base 23 minus 22, and that is going to be multiplied by the right or the left slope formula. So we are dealing with a left one there. That's times 2x minus a divided by b minus a and c minus a. And that comes from our right slope formula because our value, our x value, is between a and c, or it's between the left side, the minimum 22, and the peak of 25. We then need to plug in all our numbers. So 1/2 times 1 times, what's that going to be? That's going to be 2x. So let's go through a, b, c, and x. So x is 23 minus 22 divided by b, which is 27, a, which is 22, c, which is 25, and a, which is 22. And when we get all that, that's 1/2 times 2 divided by 15, 5 times 3, and that becomes 2/30, and that would become 0.0667. I've rounded that to 4 dp. And we haven't finished yet, so that number that we calculated, that represented that smaller triangle, but we've been asked about the other portion. So to find the probability that x is greater than 23, we need to go 1 minus that probability of the small triangle, and that will give us that probability, which comes to 0.9333, and that number also affected by that 4 dp rounding. So hopefully you found this video useful on left and right slope calculations. Hopefully you also learned a bit of tricks about how to calculate smaller portions of the triangle to then do the 1 minus p trick to calculate the portion of other bits of the triangle. All right, now let's get into some questions.